everybody for coming to the panel before Nathan Fillion's panel. I was listening backstage. I know what's going on out here, but never mind. It's okay. I appreciate it, guys.
First thing out of the way, if any of you have not seen the finale, you're in trouble.
You're in the wrong place if you haven't seen the finale.
So you'll have to do earmuffs if we talk about the finale. So I do want to ask you, my first question is anything specific, but you were doing a panel somewhere else before it aired, and you said there were two things in the episode, in the finale, that you had never seen before. And I'm curious as to what those two things were.
Well, the fight that we did in the tunnel, where we had this big crane shot that was going over an army of Mirakuru soldiers, and we had this City of Heroes trinity of myself with Roy and Sarah and Nissa and the League of Assassins, and just the scale of that fight, I don't think the scale of that fight has ever been done on TV before. And secondarily, the final fight between Manu Bennett and I in the flashbacks, we took the freighter set and actually cordoned it off and then flooded it. And that was our last day of filming. And again, I've never seen stuff like that on an action scale that's been on TV. And plus, I'm super proud of my show, and I don't care if that's accurate or not.
Well, we don't care either. We're just like all right, I'm going to ask you to start lining up if you would like. Oh, you're already there. Never mind. Okay. If you want to go ahead and start with our first question, and we'll start right down here.
Hi.
Hi.
So, you know, when Oliver's working out, and I don't know what they're called, but something crazy.
The salmon ladder?
Yeah, that. Have you ever done that and missed the next one?
Oh yeah! Big time. Actually, there was a scene this year where there was randomly a big tire in the middle of the aerocade, and I was swinging a sledgehammer at it. And for whatever reason, that day, it was like 42 degrees in the aerocade on the set, or like 200 degrees colder than it is here right now. And I actually did the salmon ladder in between to stay warm, and I missed one, and I pulled a muscle in my neck, and we had to cancel the scene. Well, we got it back. But yeah, you miss every once in a while. You miss. Not when the camera's rolling, though. Never. Never. All you need to do, this is actually true. Whenever I'm doing a new parkour thing and I can't get it, someone picks up the phone and starts recording. And then I get it. Thank you. Hey, man.
So, in the first season, did you have to film all the flashbacks on the island before you filmed the present day scenes?
That's a good question. No, we film the island scenes in coordination with the episodes as we go. So we generally speaking, we have what we'll call an island day, or, you know, for season 3, spoiler alert, a Hong Kong day. And I have to get in a little bit early, and I have to put on my horrible wig. And not that it looks bad, but it's a horrible hair. And does it look bad? Guys, shut up. And I also typically have to put on some type of black eye, because I've got the crap kicked out of me on the island at some point. And but no, we shoot those as we go along. Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry, are you Canadian?
No, I'm actually from Vegas.
Okay.
So, but actually my friend Ebony back in Vegas just became a big fan of yours, and she follows you on Facebook. And I was just wondering, what is it like to have like this huge fandom and all these fans because of Arrow.
It's 2 million people on Facebook. It's really cool. You know, it's cool. I think that maybe coming out, I was actually standing over there watching some of the activities that were happening in between panels, which may have been a mistake because I got a little bit nervous. But it's really cool. John Barrowman told me, we were filming, it was an episode of the first season, I think it was our 9th episode, and he talked to me about the difference between the fan base and the people and how they appreciate your show from the first season to the second season to the third season. I become good friends with the boys from Supernatural, and they're on their 17th season. And it's really amazing to see it keep growing, because what you see is you see people that were worried that your show was going to suck or it was going to get canceled, and once you get to season 2 and you have season 3, people know, so they get a chance to invest. And it's been really neat to see how the fans have reacted and bonded to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barry.
Hi, first, thanks for being here. I know you won't be in Phoenix.
What's wrong with Phoenix? I have no problems with Phoenix.
I'm in leather and it's 107 degrees outside.
It's not. Yeah, but you're committed.
So, we all love Arrow, and CW is coming out with The Flash.
Yeah.
We're all really excited. You're in the trailer, so I think we're all wondering, are you going to be a recurring character in the Flash series?
Well, we have the same executive producers. We have the same writers. We shoot in the same city. You know, I've already been in the trailer. Like I'm in the pilot, which was the coolest thing, because it was like a callback to shooting our pilot. Same director of photography. So I can't imagine that we wouldn't have me cross over, but I haven't seen the script yet. Yes. Hi, I liked your Arrow costume, by the way. I was watching for the
Wait, I was just wondering, is the Arrow ready for a young...
Tell you what, come on up here, let's see how we look together. Okay?
So I was wondering, if you could have been anybody else on the cast of Arrow other than Oliver Queen / Green Arrow, who would you have been?
That's good. I love villains, right? I always get the question, people always come up and say, you know, what other superhero would you like to play? I don't want to play any other superhero, I want to play villains. I thought that Manu Bennett was phenomenal this year on the show, and I'm acutely aware that a superhero show is really only as good as the main villain. You know, the reason that The Dark Knight was so good was because of Heath Ledger as the Joker. So you need a villain to raise your game. So I would love to play Deathstroke, and then we'll have Manny play Arrow. And it'd be really weird, but it would be fun. Thanks, man. You mean like personally?
Yeah, personally.
No.
Besides your face.
I shoot a compound bow on the show now, but I feel like a compound is cheating. I was out at a spot called Martin Archery in Walla Walla, Washington. I put this video on Facebook, and they gave me this compound that is like, had this weird thing to pull the bow back, and then you removed your finger and you hit a trigger, and I was like, someone should be serving me tea while I'm doing this. Archery, so my weapon of choice would be a recurve bow.
Okay, yesterday in Manuel's panel, he told us a really awesome / horrible audition story where he accidentally choked out a person. What your worst audition story is? Or
My worst audition story. Well, this wasn't a bad story in so much as it was. I mean, I had my cell phone go off in an audition once, but I mean, yeah, I didn't get that job. But I actually, my worst audition story for me personally was first of all, I auditioned for Die Hard 5 like 9 times, and that was frustrating. But I flew to New Zealand, and when they decided to carry on with Spartacus after Andy Whitfield got sick, they decided to recast Spartacus. And the final audition in New Zealand was me and Ian McIntyre. And it all worked out.
Yes.
But I actually did a scene with Van Impe from season 1. They brought him on set. I did a theoretical scene from season 2, and a scene with Manu from season 1, and some other scene, and some sort of weird, crazy fitness test. And there was so much makeup on my body; it was weird. But I left Auckland, New Zealand, thinking that I was going to play Spartacus. I was like, I got it, and I didn't. So that was tough. That was tough. But Lena did a wonderful job, and I was glad they got to carry on with the show. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
What line from the show has Oliver said that you think is most important for him to grow as a character?
I wish I had gotten that question beforehand.
Come back in 10 minutes?
Yeah. Do you mind? You know what? I'm going to think about that for a minute. I'm going to noodle it, and we will have, just remind me. I'll think. So if anyone else asks questions and it looks like I'm thinking about something else, I am.
Really good, thank you.
What's your name?
Quinn.
Quinn. Okay. I'll think of it. I'll randomly go, Quinn! And I'll... Thank you.
First of all, I want to say your beard looks fantastic.
Thank you. Sure.
My question is, how far would you like to see the show go, and is there an overarching story like already written for the complete series?
Well, it is a good question. When did I lose my ability to speak? Quinn! The show was built to be 5 years, right? I'm under contract for 6, so I would imagine that it won't end at 5 years. But I would like to see the completion of the island storyline and really get to know why Oliver was the way that he was when we found him. And I mean, there's so many cool places that we can take the show. But that being said, it's such a difficult shoot that I can only think about our 47th episode, which is our first episode of season 3. If I think beyond that, I get in big trouble.
Also, you were way too good for Die Hard 5.
No comment.
the hardest stunt they've had you do, or allowed you to do?
In the first episode of our second season, there's this scene where Diggle and Felicity are on the island, and she steps on a landmine, and I'm 60 feet in the air in a tree, right? And they wanted to have my stunt double do it. I was like, are you insane? I want to do this. You're all harnessed up, it's all safe. So I did it, but I swing down, and then they exercise too much caution, and they hit the brakes for some reason. As if after I had swung, I would just close my eyes and not worry about slamming into a tree or something like that. And so when they hit the brakes, the cable actually ripped on my arm a little bit. And I had, if you ever see pictures of me from Comicon last year, it looks like I've been in a huge fight because I have these bruises up and down my bicep. So that was tough. And it was also tough because I was relatively demonstrative when it came to insisting that I did the stunt. And then they actually brought me up in the tree. And I was like, shit. I'm really scared. Pardon me?
Questioning your life choices.
Questioning my life choices. But you know what? It's all the stunts, they get bigger all the time. I'm usually looking for more practical ways to do things, but I love doing the stunts. And to me, there's always an added quality to the television show when you can tell that the actors are doing the stunts. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quinn, I got you. Okay, I don't know if it was the most important line, but I thought that the most important scene from this year was the flashback between Oliver and Moira, where the last flashback, where Oliver learns that he, quote unquote, lost the baby, and to see a different level of emotion from Oliver and him really question himself as to what he would do if he was a dad, and to see a real sadness in him. Excuse me. I thought that was the most important scene and the most important stretch of dialogue. You're welcome. Hey, man.
Are you gonna, well, what I'm gonna ask you is, like, are you gonna go on American Ninja Warrior? Because my mom showed me a video of you training on the stuff there, like you climbing the wall.
Yeah, I probably should. But I'm hyper competitive and I want to win bad. So, yeah, I mean, does anyone know anyone at NBC that I can get in touch with? I'll just put it on Twitter. I'll be like, hey, American Ninja Warrior people, hey, let me come on your show. That'd be cool. I'd do it. I would win too, I promise. You look too cute not to ask a couple of questions.
Also, what's the bad guy's name in the season finale?
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Batman's enemy.
Looking less cute now, I'll tell you that much. Tell you what, if you like some of the enemies that Batman has fought, you're really gonna like season 3. Hey.
I'm bringing greetings from my hometown, Walla Walla.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Yes.
Thank you.
I have two questions. One, what was the genesis for you to bring Knocking Point to Walla Walla, where it was really like that? And second, are you going to have another showing party at the Red Monkey?
So, a little background on this. My buddy and I have a winery called Knocking Point, which is Knocking Point with no K's, where you knock an arrow on the bow. And we had Jim Lee design a label, and think we're gonna do a comic book. It's weird. That's possible. But my buddy Drew is from Walla Walla, and his family's there, and our relationships are there. So we like having a winery there. Now, I did a viewing party at a bar called the Red Monkey in Walla Walla, and it was so good. Moira died. And it was really cool having like 200 people there for the viewing party, but I kind of wanted to get on the microphone beforehand and go, hey guys, it's maybe not the most celebratory episode. and everybody was looking at me when it was all over like I had misled them. But hey, listen, if we are back in Walla Walla next year for a party, which is our plan, and we're there for a Wednesday, we will absolutely do a viewing party. That was a blast. It was really cool. Thank you.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
A couple thoughts, one question. First of all, I've been reading comics for years, and you're doing a great job with Oliver Queen and Green Arrow, so thank you for bringing
Thank
this
you.
show. Also, I'm one of your 2 million Facebook followers. I want to congratulate your mom on
Thank
your
you.
cancer.
If I take a moment, I posted a picture of my mom and I a couple of days ago, and it was her 1-year anniversary of being cancer-free. Thank you. I said thank you on the Facebook page, but the comments and the number of likes and shares and just well wishes, stuff like that fills my heart up and it fills her heart up. And to everyone that follows me on that page and who was instrumental in making her feel that way, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
So, this is the same question I asked Amanda Bennett yesterday. He talked a lot about the stunt choreography and what you can and can't do and all that, but you all still stay pretty fit. You all have a lot of practice to do.
Yeah.
Who's in the best shape out of all of you and your own classmates?
I am.
I just want to let you know that.
He's entitled to his opinion. Look, I'm not the one that's in a prison on the NMU, okay? I won that battle. I'm not taking off my shirt. I'm on vacation. Thank you, man.
So, I'm wondering, what, voodoo ritual or human sacrifice did you guys
Wait a minute, hang on. Okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but this is the weirdest intro to a question.
It'll make more sense in a minute.
Okay.
How did you guys break the curse of Summer Glau? You got season 3 after having some great shows, but after she's on there, they get cancer.
I think the long-winded answer to that is that Summer is obviously a wonderful, wonderful actor, and I think that it was just circumstantial. You know what I mean? That would be the long-winded answer. The short-winded answer is we broke her neck before the season was over. I love Summer, by the way. She's not really good friends, but yeah, she'll find her footing. I have no doubt.
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming here. I know film starts in a month, so this is your vacation. And I'm here for you, not Nathan, so just want to point that out.
Thank you.
Representing DC, and community is great. The question I have about you in the show is the big 3. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Out of those 3, who would you want to see, whether it's just a cameo or a guest appearance, come into Arrow?
Batman. Always Batman. Yeah, we'll get Rob. We had this idea that my cousin Robbie, who's the biggest Batman fan on the planet, and I'm saying this in a room full of Batman fans. His password for everything is Bruce Wayne something. Don't tell him I said that. His Facebook pseudonym is Bruce Wayne. All this is all true. But we always had this joke that that we would get him to come on the show, and you know, I just walk by him, and he'd stop me and he'd go, "Hey Oliver, how you doing?" And I'd be like, "I'm doing well, Bruce." And we'd chat for 1 second, and then that would be over. So that would be pretty cool. That'd be really cool. I know that he would do it for free. We'll see. Yeah, man.
Nice to see you again.
By the way, so in between panels, this guy was walking out. What was your name again? I'm sorry. Trevor. And I saw his shirt and I just pushed him on the chest. He's like, "Hey, oh."
That clearly just made my weekend. Well, first I'd like to say thank you for such your huge Facebook presence. All my friends love it. They speak so highly of it and just go, "Wow, this guy's just awesome." And he needs to keep it up and keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
Also, my question is, how do you think that you and Grant will eventually get to the JLA?
Justice League?
Yeah. And F Cancer.
What's that?
F Cancer.
And F Cancer. Thank you, man. The Justice League movie. The guy that I trained with at Tempest was actually just up there shooting Batman vs. Superman, and he told me secrets. I will not. Everybody turn off your cameras. You know what, I don't know. I think that the people that watched the Flash pilot that have seen it and saw the scene where Grant and I interact, he's not even in his costume. You know, a lot of people are like, "Well, that feels like the Justice League." You know, I thought that it felt like the Justice League too. So I don't know if we'll eventually cross over into the movies, but you know, that being said, we don't need to. You know, the important part is it's important that Arrow and the Flash are able to stand on their own and be appreciated for what they are in the medium that they are in. And if they wanted me to be in the Justice League movie and it worked out, that would certainly be something that I would be interested in. That being said, my most important and crucial priority is making season 3 better than season 2. Justin's my buddy. I know there's people really good friends of mine in here.
Hey man, I heard, or I saw on Facebook that you have a winery and you made Vertigo wine. Will you be coming up with the Mirakuru wine?
It's not the worst idea. What would it be, like 33% alcohol? And a little bit of Red Bull? And a dash of methamphetamine? We were gonna have Vertigo wine, and a winery from Italy emailed us and said, "Cease and desist." Like, really? And we got in touch with our lawyer, and the lawyer was really. So it's actually now going to be Verdant House Wine. True story. But the label's the same. I know, it's shit. But yeah, Mirakuru would be a really good wine. What type of blend would you like it to be? Because this can literally happen. It can happen tomorrow. Red wine, white wine. Red wine? White? We'll see. We'll get into it. 3, we're having some broad strokes discussions about it, and what we're finding with Oliver is in a spot in the flashbacks where all of the humanity that he has is being stripped away. The Oliver that you met in the pilot that was a murderer, that was a killer, that's the guy that he is turning into. He's losing his humanity. So season 3 is very much about how much of his humanity does he want to get back? Does he want to love somebody? Does he want to be a hero? Does he want to right his family's name in Starling City and get back his company? What's important to him? And so we will clearly have to tackle what happened with Felicity very early on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Amen.
Hi. My question is, what other DC character would you like to see on Arrow?
Ra's al Ghul. Or Raish al Ghul, as the case may be. How do you say it? Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that character for sure. I don't know. DC's a really good partner for us, and they are giving us access to characters that they wouldn't have even considered giving us in the first season, and they wouldn't have given us in the second season. But I think we've proven ourselves. I think we've proven that we can represent a worthy version of characters that people care a lot about. And so I would imagine that there will be no shortages of good DC characters coming. And I do know also that very early on in season 3 we see a new superhero suit. So that counts for something.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. First, I want to say I think it's amazing that you stayed really connected with everybody on Facebook and you're very personable with everyone.
Thank you.
But my question is there a chance that Thea might come back in the next season as like a villain or maybe become something with Oliver?
Well, Thea's coming back for sure, and I don't think the question is whether or not she's going to be a villain. I think the question is she going to be evil? Yeah. Because John Barrowman's evil. And he warps people's minds. Like, John could get you to do anything right now, I'm pretty sure. If John was here, I'd be like doing handstands with my shirt off or something like that. He's randomly going to walk out right now. He's probably here. Probably senses. But yeah, Thea will be back, and she will be a very different version of herself. She resolved to be something different and to never be weak, and I would bet that she would follow through on that. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, man.
So about John, will he be coming back as a big villain in the next season?
Yeah, John's going to be a regular for season 3. It's going to be a regular for season 3. Which is a blast for me because we actually haven't gotten to do a whole bunch of work together. I mean, he chained me up once and threw water on me. But one of my big disappointments of season 2 was that I didn't see him. And he and I were actually chatting last night that it would be amazing for us to have to work together for whatever reason. I find out he's alive and we have to work together and I get to say something to the effect of, I hate you and I want to kill you, but we have something more important to do. And the uneasy alliance between the Dark Archer and the Green Arrow would be sensational. But I would imagine Barrowman will be back and up to no good. That would be my educated guess. Thank you.
Follow my question up with a few things. I apologize for the shirt.
It's okay. It's okay.
And thank you for being so devoted to all of us. And if you haven't seen the final episode of season 2, what is wrong with you people? Well, my question is, if he had a theme song, Oliver Queen, what would it be and why?
Oh my God. Quinn. If All for Queen had a theme song. Jeez. I don't know. Maybe the Ultimate Warriors theme song from WWE? Maybe Hulk Hogan's theme song? I don't know. I was a big wrestling fan as a kid. That's what I'm. And, I mean, Superman's theme song? That doesn't work. That's not it. I don't know. That's a really good question. What do you think?
Well, I was avoiding, okay, if we're going for a heavy metal, don't do Hey Man Shot or Shoot the Thrill. But honestly, that's something that's been scary.
How about Hit Me With Your Best Shot? That's good. I'm glad that finally came to me.
Okay, so the only reason I'm asking this question is because I saw the John Barrowman panel, and someone...
So scared right now.
So, someone asked him what it's like working with you, and he went in like a 20-minute description of all the fun stuff he's done to you. So, I want to hear your side of everything that he's done to you and what it's like working with him.
So the first scene that I ever shot with John was a scene that actually didn't... First of all, full disclosure, before I tell a funny story about him messing with me on set, I will say that working with John is a real privilege. To have somebody that has been on a genre show and has been so awesome on it that he gets his own show. To have him come on and to have him be able to answer questions, and I mean, I was a fish out of water in the first season. I didn't know, you know, I had never been a lead in a series. I had been a series regular one time on Hum, and that was something that I had to do like 2 days a week, which I thought was a lot. So to be able to ask John questions and to see the way that he handles himself, his level of preparedness, his professionalism, he's a person for me to emulate every single day. So from that standpoint, I'm incredibly lucky. Now let's get to him messing with me. The first scene that we ever shot was a scene that actually didn't end up in the episode. It was episode 7. It was the first episode with the Huntress, and she had taken a shot, and my mother had ended up in the hospital, right? So this was before we knew Barrowman was Tommy's dad, and he and I run into each other in the hallway, and all we know at this point is that I'm the good guy and he's the bad guy, and why are these people talking? And the scene ended up getting cut because they didn't want us to meet until a couple of episodes later. So John says his lines, and after he says his lines, Detective Lance and so Paul Blackthorne and Roger Cross are supposed to come in and question him. Now Paul Blackthorne is method, okay? And at this point in the season, Paul Blackthorne hates me. So whenever we would do a scene, I would always hear him yelling swear words about Oliver Queen in the hallway before he walked in, like really loud, and it would make me giggle, which was awkward. So John says all of his lines, and then as he's walking away, just before he goes around the corner, keeping in mind I'm the only person that can see him, he goes like this. And I start laughing. And Paul Blackthorne looks at me and goes, "What the hell is your problem?" So that, in a nutshell, is what it's like to work with John. And I had been promised by him that it's going to get worse before it gets better. Yeah, the blooper reel this year is good. Oh, it is? Thank you. Thank you.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Can you give some backstory on that one? Give some backstory on that one. Someone asked this question to me on my Facebook page, and I have not seen Frozen. And I thought they were talking about cocaine. This was really inappropriate. Apparently they weren't. Or maybe this specific person was. But in general, I think the answer in the most G-rated version possible is yes, I would. I need to watch that movie apparently. Yeah, but I'm really worried because I have a daughter now, and anytime I watch stuff like that, I cry like an idiot. Do it! It's not a very Green Arrow-like thing to do. By the way, but I, especially right now in Phoenix, I would like to build a snowman and see how long it lasts.
Alright, now my real question.
Okay.
Okay. How long have you been doing archery? Did you start it with the show, or have you been doing it for a while?
I started it with the show. Yeah. I got up to Vancouver. It was my first day in Vancouver. I've told this story a couple of times. I got up to Vancouver and Patricia Gonsalves, my archery coach, sat me down. She was like, we're going to do archery. I'm all fired up. And she sat me down and she showed me a 45-minute movie of all of the ways that archery has been done wrong on film and television. They call doing archery wrong Legolas. I'm just the messenger. Okay, I'm just repeating what I heard. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure he does it okay. But the big thing is that on the show, I'm reaching for nothing, I'm knocking nothing, and I'm firing nothing because there is no safe way to shoot an arrow on a film set. Guns, fine. Arrows, not at all. Like even if you had a rubber-tipped head, it really, really hurt. So the form is the most important thing. So I've gotten really into archery. I like to do it, just on my downtime and stay up with it. And I feel like I've gotten good at it, which is important. Because every once in a while I'll be on a TV show and people are like, let's do an archery competition. I'm petrified that I'm going to lose and the show loses all its credibility. Like, I was on live with Kelly and Michael and I was watching them warm up and they were god-awful. And then it comes to the cameras rolling. And Michael Strahan knocked one like 4 inches from the bullseye, and Kelly Ripa, who could barely even pull back the bow, her shot was awesome. I thought they wouldn't even hit the target, and I had to get them. I did. I beat them. It's online. You can look it up. Thank you.
Hey Steven, how's it going?
Good man, how you doing?
So I saw your video on Facebook that you posted of you training at Tempest Free Running Academy.
Yeah.
I actually know a few guys there. William Spencer and Kate Sinclair.
Okay.
Daniel Lee Lamacca is also there. I don't know if you know those guys.
I mostly trained with a guy named Paul Darnell, who doubled Henry Cavill in Man of Steel for the clients.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, my brother, he lives in LA and he spends a few times there. But I was going to ask you, how important is that kind of training for Aero? Is the free running parkour kind of training?
It's really good. I mean, it's really important. The pilot, if you go back to the pilot, there's this scene where I'm being interrogated by these 3 guys in masks, and they're hitting me with the taser and stuff, whatever they're doing, and then I tell them that I'm going to kill them, and then we fight, and there was this parkour sequence that happened shortly thereafter where I did a relatively simple parkour move, but I felt like the fact that you could see me doing the action so early on in the pilot caused people to invest and buy in, because you only get one shot. You only get, what's that expression? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Yes. And I thought that sequence and that parkour sequence in the second act of the pilot was critical to people that, maybe wanted someone else to play Green Arrow or weren't, particularly pumped about a Green Arrow TV series. Then seeing that sequence, I think maybe changed a couple of minds. So doing parkour and also just staying fit is incredibly important. And that Tempest is the spot that birthed the salmon ladder and it being part of the show too. Because our pilot director saw that they had one there and said, "Hey, can you do this?" And I went, "Probably." And so yeah, so it's super important for me to stay up with that stuff.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
What's the most interesting or embarrassing thing that has happened to you at a con?
Interesting. I'll tell you what was interesting. There was a young girl named Nikki. Is Nikki here? Okay. So Nikki came up for a photo today, and Nikki was really nervous, and the actual camera or the monitor broke, and so I had to stand there and chat for a little bit, and I felt really bad because it seemed like although she wanted a picture, she wanted to get out of there as fast as possible. So that was interesting. Strange, and I don't mean strange in a bad way at all. I like strange, but there was a guy in Vancouver, really nice guy, who had a bunch of Oliver's tattoos for the show. He had those tattoos for real, and he had like a shadow tattoo on his back shoulder, and he had me sign it, and he got that tattooed. That was something. I'm hoping for a lot more of that. No, but you know what? This is, I've done maybe 4 or 5 cons this year, and it's really rewarding. One of the toughest stretches for us in the season is when we start filming in July, and then the show doesn't come out until October, and we can't see and experience the fans reacting and appreciating the show. Because that is what keeps us going on really long days. You know, when it's it's raining and it's late and you're shooting the scene for 5 hours. Not that it's actually work. Let's be clear. But seeing the fans' reaction is always so rewarding, and coming to these Comicons and meeting people like Nikki and all of you guys is that it's a huge fuel for the fire of wanting to make the show as good as possible. Thank you.
So at the end of season 2, you and Malcolm are fighting, you're struggling, and at the end you beat him. Later in season 2, he comes back. John Barrowman comes back.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to that?
There's a great John Barrowman meme that says, "I don't always die, but when I do, I don't." I mean, me personally, I was ecstatic that John came back. When I found out that John was going to be a regular in our 3rd season, I was fired up. I wanted to high-five people. And, but it will be really interesting to see how Oliver reacts. I don't know how Oliver is going to react because I haven't seen the scene yet. My short guess would be not well. But we will see. I'm really grateful that John's going to be a part of the family for our 3rd season, and hopefully well beyond that.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I just realized just a few seconds ago that you said that you were going to have more DC characters in there. And I was wondering, we've already seen Roy Harper in the show, and he has this comic series now called Red Hood and the Outlaws. Please, would you beg your people to have Red Hood?
Want me to get on the phone, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't care. Either way. If you could get Red Hood and Starfire on the show, and if you need someone to do like a flashback of Jason, I will do that. I try some.
The correct answer is not yet.
Not yet.
That'd be cool. You know what? One of the good things about our show, I think personally, is that the guys that are writing it and creating it are huge Green Arrow fans. I mean, there are people that have been on the Green Arrow book. So if there is a character that is popping in the comics, like Starfire, right?
Yeah.
Then I would bet that they will eventually incorporate that character into our universe. But be patient.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if I believe you, but try and be patient. Hi.
Oh my gosh, okay.
You knew this was coming.
But, so I absolutely loved the finale, but Isabel was about to say something before Felicity badassly hit her with the car. I mean, come on, Sarah can hit people with sticks, but, you know, Felicity hits people with
Felicity with the car. Yeah, big time.
And, so Isabel's saying something like, you know, Felicity and the way she talked to me, and that, do you have any idea how she was going to finish that sentence? Because I absolutely loved the finale, but that was infuriating. I was like, what did Felicity say to her?
This is a really unique question. It's
Well,
very niche.
my first question was stolen, so I had a couple little times to think about it.
Well, we no one stole it. They just lined up before you.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I feel like you know, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and I feel like when Isabel was with Oliver, maybe she sensed that she didn't have his full attention.
Okay, that's a perfect answer.
Sorry, there are kids in the room. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
I got this on my phone, just in case you forgot. In one episode, there was a high-pitched voice in the jail cell when you guys are going on that mission with all the other bad guys. And I was like, oh God, is it Harley Quinn? So I was wondering, was it Harley Quinn, and is she going to be a problem in season 3?
I don't know if she's going to be involved in season 3, but the high-pitched voice in episode 16, Suicide Squad, was absolutely Harley Quinn. And we got, I mean, one of the cool things was we got, is her name Tara Strong? And we got Tara Strong to do the voice. I didn't know about any of this, by the way, because I wasn't in that scene. But I'm a fan, and I remember seeing the preview and feeling like I should have known that this was going to happen. and I also know that that there was an additional scene with that character in the finale that, again, still in the cell, still with her back to us, but it had to get cut for time. Our finales are always like 18 minutes too long, and so that got cut. But I hope, you know, I was actually really taken aback by the absolutely incredible reaction on the internet when people heard her voice or even saw her image in the trailer. So Harley Quinn is obviously very popular, yes? Let's hope we get her on there. Thanks, man.
Hello.
Hello.
My question is, when you got casted as Green Arrow, did you do any research, like reading the comics or looking at TV shows, and then you compare, like,
It's a good question. I didn't actually do any research prior to the pilot because, you know, the pilot had been signed off on by Jeff Johns. The pilot was being directed by David Nutter, who is the greatest director of pilots in the history of television. He directed the pilot for Arrow, Flash, Smallville, Supernatural. He directed The Red Wedding for the Game of Thrones. The man is a legend. And so my MO for the pilot was to do whatever the hell he told me to do. And then thereafter I visited DC and met with Jeff Johns, and it's actually really fun. I got to meet Mike Grell this weekend, which was really cool. Signed the poster that he drew for the pilot for me, which was fantastic. And after the fact, I did a lot of reading on Green Arrow, Year One, Longbow Hunters, and I read the comics that come out in the New 52, and I mean, the thing, ironically, slightly off topic, the thing that I am most proud of, possibly most proud of in the entirety of the show, is the fact that John Diggle is now a part of the Green Arrow comic book canon. Like the fact that David Ramsey has done a portrayal that has resonated so much that it's become part of the comic book, I think is the greatest compliment that you can pay our show. So, yeah, Diggle rules. So yeah, but now I keep up. Now I know a lot about the character. And Easter egg that not a lot of people caught, in the pilot where I confront Adam Hunt and I say, I want you to transfer this money to Starling City Bank account 1141. That's November 41. That's when Green Arrow came out.
Thank you.
Lucky you.
If you could trade Roy, I love Roy, but if you could trade Roy for any sidekick, who would it be?
I was gonna punt Roy. He hasn't even really had a chance. But if I had to trade him, Nightwing. Well, I can go rapid fire. I see it right there. I have.
No, I'm wanting to actually in about 3 minutes.
Oh, 3 minutes. Great. Good.
Lauren, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lauren.
First off, I think you would have made an amazing gladiator.
Thank you.
I kind of a two-part question. When you were a kid growing up, what was your favorite superhero and your favorite supervillain?
My favorite superhero growing up was Superman, was Christopher Reeve's Superman. I mean, that was my childhood. And so by definition, my favorite villain was General Zod, right? It's Terrence Stamp as General Zod. If I could pick one guest star, for the show, it would probably be Alan Rickman. But if I could pick 2 guest stars for the show, John Barrowman was probably the second one. If I could pick 3, it would be Terrence Stamp. Okay.
Where do you, Jared, and Jensen hang out? And can I come?
And yeah, it's really cool. I'm actually going to visit Jared because, I mean, he and I are clearly in love. We hang out it's a super secret location in Vancouver for leads of CW shows. If you become a lead in a CW show, you can absolutely come. Thank you so much.
Alright, so now we know that Oliver Queen has a kid. How are you hoping
Is that true?
How are you hoping that changes or adds to the dynamic of the show?
I mean, really interesting. That's a really interesting opportunity. You know, Diggle is about to have a kid. Oliver theoretically has a kid. I got a funny story. I pitched an idea for how we would be reintroduced to the baby mama because she's now in Central City. So I pitched this to our producers, and one of our producers who's on both shows goes, "Oh, that's a great idea." A couple of weeks later, he's up for the finale. He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, we have a great idea for how to reintroduce the baby mama." And he starts pitching me my idea. And I let him go for about 5 seconds, and I'm going to want you to go back right now and think about the genesis of this idea and where you heard it for the first time. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." But I think that dynamic would be cool. I think it would be really cool. Really cool. Last question, here we go.
Okay, so as was mentioned, Barrowman talked about how he likes to prank you.
I know that dropping the mic is a thing, but this can't be the last question.
So my question was, do you have any plans to prank him back and make this war, seeing as you're competitive?
Is he here? I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I don't know what's going to happen to take it to the next level, but it's probably not going to end well. Probably not going to. Thanks, man. One more.
Hello again.
Hey.
Really quick, the flashbacks and current time, we've seen Oliver in the flashbacks go from no humanity or from being human to losing his humanity. Present time, you're going the opposite way.
Yeah.
In season 3, with the Hong Kong part, are we going to see where he actually makes a coherent decision or a conscious decision to lose his humanity? Because so far with the flashbacks, he's kind of been reacting to everything.
No, I think that what's going to happen is that in the flashbacks in season 3, we're basically going to see Oliver with no choice, like sort of an indentured servitude, and the way that the people that he is working for convince him to work for them. Nobody is going to see that coming. That's a really good one. That's a really good one, and gives us an opportunity to bring back some people on the show. I'm not telling you.
Thank you.
Back up question. There we go. I even changed my password so she can answer the question.
And he deleted all of his emails and Facebook off like he didn't trust her.
I don't trust you. You would like see something and take it way out of context.
Oh, so you're saying that you take out of context?
Everybody's got things.
Oh, we don't do that. Oh, that's good. Let's do it. I thought they might be coming back. That's pretty good. I got lots of good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, good. Thank you.